Hi everyone, we are on to week 5. We are almost done. We only have 2 weeks left. I cannot reiterate enough how good of a job you are all doing with getting your assignments in a timely manner and the detail that you have been putting into your work. So continue at that. This has been a really wonderful class to work with this summer. You guys have done a wonderful job. So don't stop now. Keep it up. We only have 2 weeks left. So we're on week 5. This week we're going to be looking at chapters 11 and 12. And really these chapters are going over kind of the money and media side of sports. So for some of you, I know with your majors, this should be a fun week for you. Kind of gets into the nitty gritty of how sports make money, why it's important they make money, how they prioritize making money. And then it's also going to talk about the role media plays. And, the one thing I will say the book doesn't necessarily touch on a ton is social media. And, that's an area that obviously has exploded over the last couple of years. And this book, is just a few years old, but it's already in that regard very outdated. It touches on it, but not as much as it should. But it does kind of give you a good glimpse into the relationship between sports and media. And again, how does that relate to society as a whole? What's our relationship with the media? I mean, this last year with the election, the media played such a huge role in what people would listen to and watch. And that's the biggest part right now is the media kind of allows us to pick and choose what we listen to. So again, I could go on and on, but these chapters are going to be really interesting. Money and media and the relationships between sports. This week's assignments are a little bit different. You're obviously going to be reading the 2 chapters, but there's no discussion questions this week because you're going to be writing a COVID-19 paper. So basically what I want you to do is, reflect on the effects COVID has had on sports and then make some connections to some things that we have learned about already in this class. Now, making money would be a great chapter to use in support of your COVID-19 paper. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but you'll read it on these 2 chapters. And the COVID-19 paper isn't due till Friday. It's going to be 2 to 3 pages, Times New Roman font, double spaced. And I want you to use outside sources. And really, you're just going to tell me how you think COVID-19 has affected sports and what you've learned from the class and what you have seen. So like I said just a second ago, a really, really good route to go would be potentially even looking at like Division I football, why it was so critical for those Division I football teams to play their season when COVID-19 was at its worst, how much money they spent on testing, and they really had to play it because of the media rights and how much money these schools made. Again, I don't want to write your paper. I did put 5 different links to get you started. Now, you don't have to use these sources. These are just going to be good sources for you to potentially use. You are more than welcome to use them within your paper if you want, okay? So like I put on here, 2 to 3 pages, 3 to 4 sources outside of our book. Make sure that you cite them at the end of your paper. The effects on sport, athletes, the fans, schools, companies, jobs. I even put an article about how it affected college towns, like people not coming in and eating at restaurants. And then your personal reaction or experience with COVID-19 and sports. So once you look at all of this research in your mind, when you were going through it this last year as a Wartburg College student, what were your thoughts behind, even us not being able to participate, initially, but we were able to practice and, just really, I would love to get your personal viewpoint after doing this research. Thursday, you'll still have a quiz. And then on Friday, you'll hand in your personal learning post. So you're still going to be telling me what you took away from chapter 11 and 12. And then you're going to hand in your COVID-19 paper. Like I said, we're towards the end. Next week is week 6. I will also be opening up that week here as well. You won't have my intro video till next Sunday. That's pretty typical. But week 6, you will have like a kind of different learning post due. It'll be a little bit longer. It'll be another 2 to 3 page paper really about how you're going to be an agent of change. So now that we've gone through all these topics, gender, race, social class, money, and then next week we're going to go over, some other things like what things can you do in the future, not only to help sports be better, but just society in general. And I'll give you a ton of details next Sunday about what I'm looking for in that paper. And I'm going to give you an extended amount of time to write that final paper. So, you'll get till the following Monday. I'll get you those details. It won't be due until Monday, July 19th. But I want you to start thinking about it. So one thing I want you to start kind of reflecting on is, what do you plan to do as a profession someday? And what are some things that you've learned from this class that you could take away and really make for positive change within society? If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I will be in touch over the next couple days. You'll be able to upload the paper directly into my Wartburg for the COVID-19. You'll see it in the coursework. But I'm really, again, you guys are doing great work. Keep it up. I love reading some of the things. I mean, your movie reviews a couple weeks ago were fantastic, and some of you picked some really interesting movies. So you're doing a great job. I really enjoyed learning from you during this time and reading your peer responses to each other, which have been very respectful and on point as well. So I will be in touch. Let's get after week 5 and let me know if you need anything.